Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Superman Lois Season 3. Today we're going to be talking about some major updates in regards to the new season and the future of the show, plus some other stuff that is to do with the new season. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so as you guys know, Superman Lois is coming back in March. I am very excited for the show. However, as we all know, it's kind of on treacherous grounds right now, is how I would put it. Like, everything is very uncertain. A couple of years ago, we wouldn't say Season 3 could be the last season of Superman Lois. No, we were thinking it would do Flash, Arrow, Supergirl numbers at least. But as of right now, because of the changes at the CW, obviously there is a very high possibility that Season 3 could be the last on the CW. However, considering it's very popular and it's actually done good ratings on the network, there's a chance that maybe it continues for one more season at the CW, or I think other places would be a bit silly to not pick up on Superman Lois if the CW was to can it. But this leads me to talk about today's main topic. It was just announced actually via some sort of Q&A that was held. I don't actually know where it was, but I will leave the link in the description below to the video. And basically you see Tyler and Bitsy at some sort of event and they are talking at a panel, and she mentions that along with the showrunner Todd Helbing, who has been with the show since the very start, most of you guys will know him from The Flash because he was the showrunner for a season or two, but Bitsy actually mentioned in this video that there is a new showrunner, there is a co-showrunner. So Todd Helbing is going to be running Superman Lois Season 3 alongside Brent Fletcher. Now, Brent Fletcher isn't a stranger to Superman Lois. In fact, he's co-written some episodes which include episode 11 of Season 1, episode 10 of Season 2, and episode 15 of Season 2. So he's worked on the show for a while, and he has been a producer on the show as well as a writer. Plus, also, you guys may know him from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because he was an executive producer, a co-producer, and a supervising producer at different times. Also, he worked on Spartacus as a producer. Maybe you know that TV show, but that was from like back in 2012 to 13, so I guess Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is way more up to date. But now he's been working on Superman Lois since 2021, and he is now our co-producer of Superman Lois. And this is big because Todd Helbing has been steering the ship from the very start since its inception, and so it's kind of nice to know that they are willing to bring on Brent Fletcher. Now, I don't know why he was brought on as a co-showrunner, but this is the first time that it's been talked about. It seems like the way that Bitsy's talking about it, like Brent has been the showrunner since the start of the season and they just didn't announce it or anything. So he's been heavily involved, and she talks about like conversations that they've had. She actually mentions that she thinks this season has the best script and kind of the best stories. So she's obviously trying to hype up the new season, and I'm sure it's going to be very good. But I guess, you know, the idea of them announcing a co-showrunner is a big thing for Superman Lois's future because it could potentially steer it in a different direction. I don't know the actual reason why he was brought on. I don't think it's anything bad to do with Todd Helbing, but sometimes you just need like a little bit of extra help, and maybe he was just like very overwhelmed. We won't know until they actually acknowledge anything. I'm sure they'll do some interviews as we head towards March when Superman Lois is coming out with Season 3, and obviously we're going to be covering everything to do with the new season. Also, remember they actually released a trailer recently, so potentially there could be some future trailers / small promos in the meantime. Maybe they'll release some more photos. We've talked about a couple of photos that they've released previously, but right now the kind of main focus is on The Flash, because The Flash is coming back on February 8th, and then Superman Lois is just over a month after, plus also Gotham Knights is coming out on the same night as Superman Lois, premiering its first episode. But anyway, that's the update in regards to the new co-showrunner of Superman Lois. Gave you a little bit of a backstory to do with him, and I can't say much more because I don't know too much about him, but I think it's a good step. Alright, we got a couple more things to talk about that are Superman and Lois related. First things first, we need to talk about the new Lex Luthor. I actually made a video on this the other day, so if you want to check that out, it's up on the channel right now. I break down the new recasting of Lex Luthor into full details, so go check that video out. So it was announced that Michael Cudlitz on January 24th, so that was like 5 days ago now, has been cast as Superman Lois's Lex Luthor. He is going to be the second Lex Luthor in the Arrowverse, replacing Jon Cryer from Supergirl. Clearly, there is a lot that he has to live up to, considering the great depth of Lexes we've had in the past. And I think Jon Cryer definitely set a very high bar in terms of the Arrowverse. And so this version of Lex Luthor, played by Michael Cudlitz, is going to be a different one. It's apparently going to be a more vicious version of the character. And he is resurfacing for vengeance after years of being underground, probably planning something against Lois and Superman, and now he is finally back to enact his revenge because they did something to wrong him. And by the looks of things, he's going to come back with a proper big vengeance, and it's going to be maybe a little bit more brutal. And so Jon Cryer actually reacted to the casting of Michael Cudlitz as Lex Luthor on Superman Lois. This is on Twitter, I'll leave the link in the description below, but Jon Cryer says, in reaction, "Not gonna lie, sounds like this version of Lex Luthor is going to be very fun to play. I'm jealous, but this guy is going to absolutely crush it." Michael Cudlitz replied, "Really looking forward to this, thank you, have been a fan of your work for years." So there you go, that is Supergirl's Lex Luthor reacting to Superman Lois's Lex Luthor and him replying. Clearly this version of Lex Luthor sounds on paper like a very exciting role for an actor, and so of course Jon is going to be like a little bit jealous, but also he was such a big fan of playing Lex and he was so into it. He was in Supergirl a hell of a lot, obviously he was a big part in Crisis on Infinite Earths as well. So since he was first introduced, he's played a huge role in the Arrowverse, especially to do with Supergirl, plus also linking into Superman, because the version of Lex we got on Supergirl was actually Superman's nemesis at first, but it kind of transferred over to Supergirl once we got to see him for the first time on Supergirl, and so that's where they kind of started things off. But anyway, so Jon Cryer is a little bit jealous of Michael's new version of Lex, who obviously is going to be very dark, and we know Michael can play that kind of different type of character who's a bit more dark, because he was on The Walking Dead, and yes, I haven't watched that show in a long time, but it's generally darker, and so he probably gets the vibe. And so I really do hope Jon is actually right that Michael Cudlitz is going to crush it. I think he will, and I think it's going to be a good rendition. My one big question as of right now is, how big of a villain is he going to be in this season? Is he going to be a full-on big bad, or is he going to be kind of linked into the intergang side of things with Bruno Mannheim? I guess those answers are going to be given to us pretty soon, considering Superman Lois is coming very fast, and they announced the casting for Bruno Mannheim a long time ago, so he is in the early episodes, but they've only just announced this new Lex Luthor, so I presume Michael Cudlitz has probably not filmed anything yet, and he's probably just been brought on board. They've done the announcement to the press, and now he can go in and prepare to play Lex. So that's it for my Lex Luthor segment of this video. We have one final segment that I wanted to talk about, because this is to do with a returning character to Superman Lois. This character is someone that we've seen before in Superman Lois, and that person is of course Atom Man, aka Henry Miller, and so he's been played by actor Paul Lazenby. We've seen him before on the show. Atom Man is a big thing in Superman lore, and especially in the lore of Superman Lois. We've seen him before. He has the kind of Earth X symbol on his chest, and he is basically just a Superman Lois recurring villain that you see from time to time. And so yes, he's back on set for season 3. And according to his tweet, he is wrapped for Superman Lois season 3 for now. Potentially he's going to be back in the future if we have more episodes beyond season 3. And so he said thanks to Rob Hayter and his ultra professional stunt team, so obviously that is part of the stunt team, and then Tyler Hoechlin, Will Parks, and everyone on the production side of things, and that he can't wait for season 3 to kick off. And so he posted a couple photos with him, Tyler, and also Will Parks on the set. And so yeah, This character is pretty cool. I like to see that they are growing a kind of rogues gallery for Superman and Lois, where every season we go back to some people who resurface and they're like Metropolis based, and it brings Superman back to Metropolis. I don't think Atom Man is going to be any big threat throughout the whole season, considering that he's already wrapped. I would presume he's just in like 1, maximum 2 episodes, but I would probably just stick to 1. I think he's just like a villain of the week who is going to pose a threat to Superman very briefly, and then he's going to be dealt with, and then he's going to be gone. Then Superman can go back to focusing on what he truly has to be focusing on, and that is Bruno Mannheim into gang. Obviously he's going to be probably teaming up with Lois on that, plus he has the looming threat of Lex Luthor resurfacing later in the season that he's definitely going to have to focus on. Plus we don't know who else is the main villain of the season. Is it just going to be Bruno and Lex? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Really helps out the channel. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Plus you can join and become a member of the channel by clicking the join button down below. If you join, you'll be supporting the channel, and you'll also get cool perks, including being able to join me live on my YouTube channel on a live stream. We just did a member stream yesterday. You can check it out on the live tab of my YouTube channel. And so for now, thank you for watching. Click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.